Throughout the many days and weeks I have been trying to correspond with our governments, and it is not finished yet, but I have come to the honest conclusion, which is not certain, but it looks like this, that it is not about what you send to the government. If you send good news or good news, that is not important. What is important is that you have connections. So if you present your good news, and even if you make it official that you have sent your good news, that is, that is wordless. It's all about having connections. It has to be publicly known that you have made your good message public to the government. If you just have a channel like I have, and you have just your trusted friends around on Facebook and here and there, then the truth is that it is not going further than that. That is to say, just a very little bit. But I have already seen on Facebook that if you try to send messages, you are allowed to do so, but more likely to the friends who are included in your community, your personal sphere, or friends who are usually around. If you then try to send messages to other people, or you start to also request friendships to other people, then these both are not allowed and you are blocked faster. So it's all about, and I'm going to use a confusing term here, it's about, I would like to use the word incubation. They incubate a certain group of people and determine that everything is happening inside there. And they control that, maybe, but they also check out that it doesn't go outside of this group. So I've always been thinking that my platform was being deplatformed, and so I could only reach my live connections, that is, the people who I chat with, the people who like, and the people who I like on their pages. But furthermore, you are almost restricted also by Facebook from interfering in others' privacy, because you violate the community rules and this and that. Really. But if you go further, you see it's all about journalism. It's all about, if there is a truth, it cannot spread further, because on you have already been restricted over the years from growing bigger. That's why you can only have a page of 5,000 people on Facebook, and you cannot get a real publisher. I'm sorry, so really. And then you have also the fact that all true journalists are died out. They have been made afraid, they have been suppressed, they have been focused on and targeted. And this is true for myself as well. Not that I am a journalist, but I have been targeted from toes to my head for all my life. But I don't want to speak about that, because that is really asking for troubles. So I didn't. But I know the rules of the underground, and the underground is not something you like to think of as being nice and attractive and musical, and no, it's not that underground. It's the real one, which is the politically unspoken one. I take another subject. What I do want to say is that I have lost the courage and the contacts I try to make with the government. I've been friendly and also have been trying to engage, and I also have tried to respect them, but they are not unfriendly, but they are not doing their thing, okay? They forgot that they stand there for the citizens. They are basically the executor of the will of the citizens, and that is absolutely what they do not, they have not understood that. So they are playing that theater with a big smile and the lip service and the friendliness and the socially correctness and the traditions and the ethical things and this and that, and they also are smart and they are fast and they have it all. But it's only the materialistic thing, the real caring for the citizen and the real allowance of alternative news is absolutely suppressed for the sake of stopping the evolution and getting control, keeping control. I think I do not say something new, but it is really disappointing that we cannot find an intermediate deal, you know. We have a planet who is dying. We are not really wanting to be angry, although we should. We see definitely that things are not right. There are not only high specifications of the pathogen, more on the other hand we see wrong behavior, irresponsible behavior, we see enhancement and instigation of this breed. We see inhuman, horrible, torturous, we see quarantining, we see imprisoning, we hear everything, and if we think twice about it, we can question things. Of course, yeah, the mass of the people on the earth is speechless. They have no real solution for themselves, and that is the first thing they think about, survival. So in there they are stuck and they cannot think any further now than their lives, which they do not solve there. They do not solve that question, that problem. They do not. So they are far away from the control aspect of the whole thing, and the deliberate spread and the instigation and the specific specifications of the pathogen, and starting to research. Yeah, sorry, I'm not wanting to be long, but I just want to speak my heart, you know. I'm disappointed, you know. I'm really disappointed because there should be a deal, you know. There are bad factors in everyone, there are good factors in everyone, and we all have them, and we can benefit from all of them, from all factors and all persons. If we lay them together in some way, we are doing a kind of a fusion, and this creates an answer to evolution. We don't have to marry each other, but we do feel when something is harmonizing, and we do feel when something is rejected. Rejection is basically stagnation, and this results in unpeace, and in 100s and more years of the same stagnation and just materialness and robbing the lands and raping the woman, and that is what we have done. But when there is a fusion, then things start to harmonize more, in the sense that we have positive aspects and we have negative aspects, and when they come together they form a certain neutralness, and they dissolve the very bad thing and the horrible stuff, but also the good has to come down a little bit again, and also shut the mouth a little bit. We do not want to speak the bad things of other things, and so yes, and we have a certain step in forwards. Like now, what we now doing is losing all the people and just seeing the same governments degenerating further in the hundreds of years further. I'm not the one who want to determine who is going to live and who not, and for who it is good and for who it is a pity. That's not a human being's his thing, you know. It's about the persons who will remain. They will have learned nothing. I mean, it's easy to kill a planet in this way, but spiritually you learn nothing about it. There will be no friends who you can harmonize with. They will all be bad ones. And what will be learned among them will be a bunch of other war and a bunch of other conflicts. They will have killed their own evolution and progress. Oh, okay, until here, thank you.